have listed out, which we'll see, one by one. We have discussed about consensus. We have discussed about Copilot in the first day itself, and we'll discuss the other two. Before that, we need to discuss a bit on the AI and the ethical aspect of it, because before jumping to any tool, you need to know, to what extent you should able to use. You can explore, AI, all this platform to an exponential, sort of exploration, but still you need to be aware of the thing that is going around. So what I should do is, let me take you to one of AI and plagiarism, because we'll be talking about plagiarism and the content, particularly when the AI text is being generated, or to take that in your research article or in your report or in your thesis, to what action you should do. So there are always two side of a coin. You have to look into both the side, because if somebody asks, why can't we use it, we can use it, but up to an extent. And many of the cases, people are now talking about regulating this AI, particularly when it comes to academics and in other field also. So we need to be aware of those things. you know AI in paper writing. If you see, many are talking about, if you look into the YouTube also, other platform also, there are different tips and tricks, and that being already given. And you can, by a simple click or simple prompt, you can generate a paper. But we need to know the fact, and we need to be aware of other thing as well. So if I just show you the thing that is developing in terms of regulation or guidelines, around the world. So this is where, if I quote SJSU University, this that they have clearly mentioned in their wall that uh, for them it won't matter, if anything being generated by AI program or software, and if that is a paper, so that will be considered as plagiarism, because they are simply, they are just telling that, if it is not your original work, and that being generated by any AI, robot or any AI platform, so there is nothing sort of originality in that, in particularly for academic work. So in that case, you have to be careful. And slowly, when it comes to us, if you look into this Indian platform or the regulatory body, they might also they are in a dilemma whether to regulate it or to give that freedom. And in that sense, we need to know what is happening. So once regulation that is come in place, and you have the proper guideline, like we have for 2018 regulation for academic integrity and plagiarism, and we know that up to 10% of similarity, we can able to do a sort of thing, and you can proceed with your thesis or any paper, when particularly that being communicated through university. So global point of view also you need to know, because that won't matter, when it get caught by somebody else, from another country, and he or she is reading your article, and they found something that is being taken from their paper, or let's say work, and you have not knowingly taken that you have taken through AI platform, and then they might reach to your university, and that time, this regulation may not work, because that will fall under the global sort of regulation, where they will might look into COPE regulation, other regulation. So we have to be particular. And can AI help for scientific writing? Yes, it is possible. Again, the other side of it, where for particularly when I said idea generation, when we discussed in the first day, and developing a structure of an article, to just to form the idea, like what you need to approach, what component can be kept in a research article or in a report. in that sort of sense it can do. And even summarizing article to know the the content of it, the key highlight of it, then you can think and you can jump to those article and you can deep dive to read or not, so there is sort of again risks of plagiarism and inaccuracies. And somewhere we need to be aware of all those things. So just I'm quoting few of the publications so that you should be aware of it. Like when it comes to writing essays or grant proposal, and now a report which you thought that is not part of research publication and somebody can do it for any other academic purposes, and to do that. But any platform, uh, it is sort of like you need to be aware of this. So here also they're talking about if somebody is writing a grant proposal and let's say patent application, in that sense also uh, this has to come in place. Like if somebody is taking something from AI platform, people might look into it because now they have that tool with let's say with Turnitin, with other software like Drillbit, it can able to, so it is whether it is generated from AI or not. There is something like positive or negative, you can say this imbalance in the report, but still we have to be aware of it. Then researcher flag plagiarism concern amid AI craze. People are developing, mainly student, those who are in the PhD, what I can say, or PG, when they are compelled to fulfill something, some point, and they want to communicate something, and with with time constraint, or what I can say, with pressure and all that, they might take platform like chat gpt, and they do sort of thing which can hamper later on. Let's say now somehow you that tips and trick you applied and you got it through, and but later on it get caught, and there are platform today which I will show you where it can be listed, and again the ethical committee will might be conducted, and all those are involved, including the stakeholder like the institution also will get to know about that thing. And that is something really something irritating, and we can say how to come from that particular stage. So you need to aware of all those things before committing any sort of mistake with negligence, or I can say unknowingly sort of a mistake. And this is scope committee on publication ethics. They come up with so many regulation. You can visit to the platform and related resources just to show you what is developing, what is happening. You see so many regulation that is coming of particularly when AI craze is going on. So people might look into this regulation as well, along with the regulation. If somebody from India filed a complaint, then they might look into UGC regulation and they can act on that. But if somebody from outside and from a general perspective, they might look into COPE regulation or their own regulation. So on that basis, they will take action. And this is one stem cell, research, from a retraction watch I have taken. So you see the exponential sort of a growth of paper retraction that is happening with the craze of AI when it is coming. And there are several resources, several platform where blindly this AI platform is being people are talking about, and to give you sort of weapon to perform your research work or to write your paper. But you can do it, but with known fact. So that's why I thought of sharing, because I do not want you to suffer, and you should not come to say that somebody tell us to use chat gpt and to write a paper, but now he or she is not answerable to those things. So we need to know all those things. And again various contexts, particularly from medicine, when it comes there is so many ethical concern about it. If it comes to something of image replication, image generation, somebody and paper that get retracted if ChatGPT can be used to do so, to generate sort of image from other sources, and to just to enhance the earlier published work, and you just showing that it is your own work. And this is like somewhere generating, you see now, up to what we can use, as I told earlier, generating research ideas, finding research gap, specific topics, summarizing, somewhere up to proofreading, language correction. Now tools are available, those also do remind me if I forgot to show you. So those also can be used, but not to completely right. And if you see frequently asked question of elsewhere, now you need to give declaration, whenever you submit a work, and whether it is being generated part of the work by AI, any AI platform. So you have to declare it, because later on if they found and there is no declaration in that, so it might lead to ethical concern. So this platform, even now, they, for the reviewer also, they have clear cut guideline, it is popping off, like whether if you do not use any AI platform to summarize or to find out any limitation and comment on that basis. For the reviewer, there is clear cut guideline that they cannot use AI platform to review article. So this is what this AI, if I say Turnitin, and this AI is available with Turnitin, and other, there are so many plagiarism detection now, free, when I showed you, I think Zero GPT also, you can we can we can have a look on that as well. Like let me take you to Chat GPT. Let's form a something, like what we should do and what we should not do. Like if I come and let's say somebody is working in um, uh, you can suggest me a topic, or I can take something from my field. So something like help me drafting an outline for uh, a research topic on biomedical signal analysis and and processing. So this is somewhat broad, but still, to let's see what we can get. If you are doing something, let's say a book chapter or a review article, so in that, now you see you are getting some outline. It can be of introduction, signal acquisition and processing, feature extraction and selection, biomedical signal classification. This is generic, as I said, and then application of this biomedical signal. So if I'm writing a review article, then I can take this heading, and the subheading, that now I need to jump to other platform to dig, to find out the literature on it. So where you can form literature, so you can jump to consensus, as I discussed, or you can jump to insightful, which tomorrow I'll show you all those tools, one by one. And you can jump to other platform like Research Rabbit, all that will look into. So tools are there. So here what you need to do is to formulate this outline, of this. And if you want to break more on that, can like you can ask here, like to please expand the introduction of this. So now it is expanding the introduction, but uh, here also you can take the subheading, like you do not know what are the different biomedical signal, and now you are able to get some information. Oh, it can be under electrophysiological signal like ECG, EEG, EMG, EOG, biochemical signal, then biomechanical signal, imaging signal, where I might got stopped only with the electrophysiological signal, but now I'm getting some information that it can lead to this. So now I can explore those components. But instead of doing so, what many do, students, they do is simply they take the content, all this content, and they keep it in their report. Now this is AI generated, it is taken from different sources, and content, the text is already in a published platform. So if somebody later on publish this thing somehow, some trick and tips you applied and publish that thing, it might get detected, or might get caught. And what you might be, in a smarter way, if you like to paraphrase it, the content that is being generated. So another thing is like, what normally people do, they go to Quillbot, and what they apply is, to, let's say, some part of it, will select a part of it, because there is a limitation of word in free account. So this is a good tool. I have not yet upgraded it. I normally prefer to use Grammarly for proofreading. But here, let's say you want to paraphrase it, you see you have this option. So I've just pasted the word that I've selected from here, and I want to paraphrase it, or to customize it. If you have premium version, then somebody can change the synonyms, somebody can make it look like academic. So in that way, somewhat that AI, if this content, all this content what is being generated, if I take this and check with Zero GPT, I'm not showing you the other, AI on this. Turn it in another platform because it will take time. So in Zero GPT, if you simply wanted to check the content, so here also you can get some information whether some error it is showing. Let me rephrase it. Yes, now you got the result. It is showing that AI generated 92%. So in that phase you wanted it to paraphrase it. So now if you paraphrase it, because I have free account, if you have this premium, so many ways to make it completely new text. In that sense, the word can be twisted and tortured, and let's say some synonyms has been changed, and you got something. And because you are taking a premium tool, and you completely rely on that, and people do so. So that time, let's say this is now your generated paraphrased text, and you come back again and check it here, and somehow you found it is of less, it was 99 or something. Now let's say it is 92, or even you get to 0% of AI here after paraphrasing. But what might happen is that this word you see, so it might get twisted. Let's say this biochemical signal get twisted to something biomechanical signal, something like that. And let's say this electrokilogram that get converted to electroencephalogram or something like that. So as you have just started your research, you might ignore those things. So the problem will be that, because today we're talking about this ethical part, the problem will be that once you publish it, the reviewer made a mistake and the journal made a mistake, because you have submitted to a journal where they may not do proper review, and that get published, and you get a good Scoopers score or something, score that and you have submitted your thesis, and you got you got your degree, and after 2 or 3 years that published get now that get detected or get catched by problematic paper screener. Let me take you to that platform. Many of us are unaware of this. I came to know when a case came to us, when I can show you that also. I have kept it here. I have removed. I'll come back to this problematic paper screener. But when we received a case about quality issues in conference proceeding, which we edited, and this is new to us, and because there was no clear cut guideline even from the publisher from where we have received that. And it was mentioned that, 4 paper were flagged by problematic paper screener. I've removed those paper. We should not, name the author, another thing, but just to show you, what might happen, why it is being included. It is showing that, many of the time what happen is that people, they do, uh, you know, make changes to reduce the similarity in the sense that plagiarism, to remove plagiarism. Here also they have mentioned this usually arises from an attempt to disguise plagiarism, and in that process they use AI platform or other platform. It may not be chat gpt generated, word. It may be actual written test, but now somebody has used AI platform to remove the plagiarism or to remove the similarity, and in that process they have not done proper proofreading, and they have completely relied on that AI platform, and now this their, similarity is below certain percentage, and they feel that it is okay. But no, you see that this we have received after 2 year or 2 to 3 years of the publication, that proceeding, and we are asked to reach to the author and to get justification about it, so that they can proceed further for what to be done. So now you see, they have approached us as a volume editor, and kindly treat this matter at urgent and share your findings. So we asked the author, and then we gave our opinion as well, and out of 4, 1 got retracted. And you see, this is because of the incoherent text and tortured phrases and somewhere non-relevant references. What I have talked about in the first, if we come back here, whatever text is being generated in chat gpt in this platform, there is no citation to it. If you see, there is no citation. Now somebody like to link it with some sort of citation, so random citation can be linked. And you feel that I have completed my assignment or a paper within 2 hour, and no headache. You got it published through a conference proceeding, through a book chapter, which is very easy to do so. But now what has happened is that it got detected by this problematic paper scanner, and it is part of a university, sort of a initiative. And this has, if you come to this, this page, you feel crazy. What is happening. You for it took time for to let, you know to make ourselves to know about this platform. And you see, uh, somewhere, they try to link the references, and if it is getting generated, word from AI platform, and that get, torture phrases, so that will automatically be listed here. If I click on this automatic all problematic paper, now you see so many article, even thousand, more than thousand of article is already listed. How many pages you see? 75433 pages. And when we come and try to see, we found so many articles from India, particularly, I should not say it was from the student, conference and book chapter, and even few article, from reputed. So it might happen in some cases that by unknown thing also, it might happen, 4 to 5 word might get twisted, or even you do paraphrase it, knowingly, and you do not know exactly. In that case, you can give justification and they might remove it. But see these cases where 144 word is being twisted, 87 word is being twisted, 73 words. So nobody can save them, once it get to the notice of the publisher, because this is another platform. They will inform the publisher now, and the publisher will come back to the author, and they will form a committee, and it might happen that they will retract it, and they will keep a note, that will be their lifetime. So whatever you have done to achieve a degree or to complete something, now the question mark will be there in that thing. So you have to be careful here. And the another thing is that it is linked with the PubPeer, where they will submit a report to the PubPeer, where again, the author can have the liberty to comment back to justify what has happened. So that is, people are, few author are responding, few are not. And this is something problematic. So we have to be careful. This is not to get you people scared of, to just you to know this fact, because people may not tell you, they might just tell you the platform. Tomorrow I'll show you several platform, but we have to know up to what extent we need to use those platforms. That's why I thought of making you people aware of it. So if any doubt as of now, I'll be happy to take those doubt, because this thing, sometimes people, they feel that it is something crazy, and why again to use AI tool, but we can have a this thing here. So
Here, I
any,
have a question.
yeah.
Like, what are the duty of an book editor? Like, what they need to do? Because
See,
it's literally
um
very easy to get a book published in India. You know it, and it's very easy to name yourself editor, book editor, and all,
yeah.
and reviewer. But what all responsibility a editor will have when something like this problematic paper scanner hit them back?
It is hitting them back, and not to the editor, but anyhow, let's say you have edited a book where 15 or 20 paper you have taken, and now you are unaware of that thing, and you said that up to, let's say 10% of AI text, below that somebody can use, below 10% of similarity somebody can use. But how can you come to know that few words is being tortured or being twisted? Because somebody need to read it completely, and to do so, I'm sure nobody is doing here. And they might get, they might consider those chapter and get it published, and even the author is unaware of it, because what they have done, because they have taken so many this tool, premium subscription of the tool, and they are completely rely on it. So what we can do as an author is to give a clear cut instruction that if you are using AI platform, and be aware of that word should not be get twisted. You need to do proofreading, so at least when somebody get back to you, you can at least show that you have given proper instruction to the author, and it has happened. So in that case, somehow you can safeguard yourself. But again, the author, I'm not sure how, how to make them aware of those things, because many, they feel that this is simple, something that is they do not care about it, because when it comes to them, they might ignore it, or they might they might feel that this is something irrelevant. So because many of the instances nowadays, people are approaching me when I've been making videos. So there are few are asking me to, in order to take services, they are requesting. Even I said, say, PhD scholar, they have used content from AI, like Chat GPT, a few part of it. I'm not sure up to what extent they have used. They asked me to, how, sir, our university now have the tool, like Turnitin, Drillbit, some tool, and it the AI content might get detected there. My similarity is below 10%, but how can I come? Can you help us in reducing the AI content? So there are another platform. What I said them, there is if you have done so, we can't do anything, because later on it might get caught in this problematic paper center, and your thesis, everything will what will happen, nobody knows, because there is no clear cut guideline, nothing. People are just watching, and a few are supporting, few are doing so. Somebody asked, paraphrasing should be used or not? Yeah, you can do it. See, when we talk about paraphrasing, when you have written something, in that case, it is obvious that from that external source, from wherever you have taken that content, it will come under similarity. Similarity is something that is word to word matching, and people call it as plagiarism. We need to understand, Plagiarism is something different and similarity is something different. Plagiarism, the person who is evaluating the report can say that is plagiarized based on the content you have copied, and the up to a certain extent of let's say percentage of word that you have copied. But to avoid those things like plagiarism and similarity, yeah, one way is to paraphrase it in such a way that the the meaning of that sentence remain intact. You should not disturb the meaning of it, because uh, you have to cite the actual source. Even though you are paraphrasing, you should not think that after doing paraphrasing it won't come under similarity or plagiarism. So no citation is required. No, you have to cite it. And in that process you are acknowledging that the first actual author or the primary author. And you are just saying that in your language but keeping the meaning intact. So in that way it is fine, because you have to do paraphrasing in the introduction and in the literature review section. There is no way out. Rephrase, paraphrase, rephrasing and all that you can do. Grammar correction you can do. And what else, rewriting using AI tool. In that case sometimes I've seen this tool, it is taking content from the other sources, and it is rewriting the thing. In that process the actual meaning is getting disturbed, and AI content might get detected. So you need to be careful. I will show you all those platform then, because I need to show you, what is happening. Then it is up to you to take a call on that. And any other doubt, because I want.
Is there any rule of paraphrasing, like similarity of paraphrasing, that continuous 30 words should match or continuous 14 words should match? Should not.
Yeah, as per regulation,
Mhm.
as per UGC regulation, they have mentioned that 14 consecutive word which is of common knowledge. Again, 14 consecutive word of common knowledge, where you cannot paraphrase it in some cases. So those can be excluded. The evaluator who will be checking your report, they might exclude that thing. And in Drillbit, which is now part of Sot Suddhi, let me take you, if you all know about Sot Suddhi, let me share my screen. So I'm sure you might be aware of this platform. This is for the Indian, PhD scholar. And through this, now 1,000 plus universities or higher educational institute are getting Drillbit freely. These universities are getting Drillbit. And Drillbit software, I thought of keeping it in the last day, but I can show you. They have that modality in their platform, that 14 consecutive word can be excluded. Let me show you, because we're talking about it. This is a drill bit. And even in Turnitin there is a filter to apply that, to what percentage. It is totally up to the regulation of the university whether to exclude 14 consecutive word or not. Here if I show you this particular folder where a word can be, a paper can be submitted. So if I click on this, you see there is an option, exclude small sources. If I click on yes, that means it will exclude 14 similarity words. And it is in line to the guideline of that 2018 regulation, uh, if you are aware of it. And many of the universities, they adopt that same regulation. So now when I check a document within this folder, so it will exclude 14 similar word. you know and what we can exclude more, we can exclude quoted material, bibliography, and some phrases also. Here they have given us a chance to exclude some phrases. If I click it yes, and let's say in your report your university name is appearing, in your thesis. Let's say Sikkim Manipal University. Let's say some common phrases like machine learning, some statistical, some technique, regression, linear regression, or something like that. And that you cannot change, and you wanted that phrase to not to be considered in that similarity. So here they have option to add these phrases in that setting, so that when you check your report, those phrases won't get detected. And this 14 similar word also won't get detected. So the similarity might come less, it might get below 10. If it is falling under 15 or so, it might get reduced to the person. But we'll discuss about it, how to interpret this report. So you'll get more idea about it, and then you can able to understand like what you should do, that we'll talk about. And this is why this Soch Suddhi project. And this problematic scanner, this is, if I show you, this is, let's say this is proceeding, this is chapter, this is article, this is again chapter, this is chapter means book chapter, article, chapter. So many, what I found is, the instances is more on the book chapter and conference proceeding, where the reach is more, by whom, by the scholar, to those platform, because the this acceptance rate is more in book editing and book publishing and in conference, because we have so many platforms, whereas we have less scope in article. But still in that of also people are getting caught, and people are doing so. And now it is being getting caught, and this is something like, this is not happening within that same year or so, that might happen after 2 or 3 years. So it has happened with us also, one of the student, where 4 to 5 words is being twisted. And now we have to give justification. But if it could have been 50 or 60 word, then that paper might have get retracted. So now we are also aware of those things, and because we have to learn and adopt. So that is what. Anything else? Anybody like to ask anything else?
Sir, I think we should proceed.
Okay. We'll talk about self plagiarism, because we're talking about plagiarism. Let me just check. Even I thought of keeping plagiarism. So let me show you plagiarism, and then I can cover self plagiarism as well. So there, you can have more idea about it. I will quickly, I will cover this. This about UGC regulation, when because we're talking about it. And this is regulation 2018. And the meaning of it is something, you are taking somebody else's work, and you are not giving a proper credit to it, and you are just pretending that is your own. So that is plagiarism. And when it comes to different, what are the different form of plagiarism? I mean, that in that sense, people are unaware of it. They think that this only about text. No, it can be, let me highlight, it can be with the data. It can be this, the word that we are talking about, the word and the phrases. It can be the idea and concept. So on data, word, idea, concept, all that can be taken into consideration when it comes to plagiarism. And this is fact sheet of Elsevier, and they are talking about literal copying. Is it ethical? No, it is unethical. And what you need to do in some cases, people, from let's say from management, from law, they, if they say, we cannot change it, we have to take as it is. So in that case, you have to quote it, you need to quote it, you have to cite it, and you have to justify it. Substantial copying, yes, it is again falling under unethical approach. And that is where, again, you have to give actual credit to the actual source. Credit to the source. Paraphrasing, see, somebody asked me about paraphrasing, but again, it is unethical to an extent if you are not giving proper acknowledgement or credit to the actual author. And never copy and paste word to word, and understand it, Rewrite in your own word but keeping the information or meaning intact. So make sure that you do not change the meaning intended by the source. This is what important is, and you have to cite it. So in that way you can be safe. Text recycling, this is something self plagiarism, will discuss about it. Then types of plagiarism, this is the first spectrum that was developed by Turnitin, where they said this is the actual source, this is simply copied to cloning. Control C, control V, plagiarized. Find and replace, few words in between is being changed, you see. Find and replace, so this is again plagiarized. Remix is something, you have taken something from different sources, not from one sources, so this is again plagiarized. Recycling is the same thing, and you are thinking you have done something new but plagiarized. Student work, you see, here they have tried to quote, given quote in some cases to so that you will not fall under plagiarism, all the software might remove it, but here no proper citation is been given, no proper referencing has been given, so it is plagiarized. This is again massive something, from different sources, no actual. This is something interesting where error, like somebody is given quotation here and even cited the material, you can see citation has been made, but these are not the actual citation, these are just something like you can relate with the chat gpt. You have generated something, and now you are asking ChatGPT to give some reference material, so it is given you something, and that way you are citing. So Crossref is a platform where it can able to link, and they can able to know if there is some sort of error, and then can lead to plagiarism. And aggregator is something similar, different sources, no quotation, word to word copied. So paraphrasing can be done in that way, and you have to cite it, and keeping the meaning intact. This is something retweeting, something you are keeping. So that is spectrum 1.0, and now this spectrum 2.0, where they are talking about this original thinking, green. Then you see they talk about student assignment, where they do, try to copy and paste. So the level is, the severity is increasing like this. And when it comes to contract cheating, data plagiarism, it is something severe. Contract cheating is something, you have paid something to a third party to write a paper, or a AI platform. I was attending a workshop by Turnitin. They're talking about even this AI platform can be considered as contract cheating if you have subscribed to it and completely you are dependent on it to write your complete report or something. So that might fall under contract cheating. Data plagiarism, manual text modification, text software based text modification, people they do cheat. That will discuss in the last day, where I'll show you Turnitin report. The feature is there to find out, what they do is they change the word, let's say o, in alphabetical o to numeric 0, and somewhere I to numeric I, so to cheat the this software to this plagiarism detection. But ultimately some it might get detected, and you that is basically cheating yourself, and again getting caught. And self plagiarism, all that is there. This is spectrum 2.0, and this we have already discussed, so I'm not repeating this. Consequences that it can destroy student reputation, professional reputation, academic reputation, legal repercussion, then monetary repercussion also, plagiarized research. So now what are the ways to avoid plagiarism which we need to follow? Never intentionally plagiarize, because and you are knowing that you are going to plagiarize, and to because you do not have time. And always use quotation mark and references wherever possible. Paraphrase only when necessary and include references. Cite the references when using fact. Copy phrases with special caution if it is non-native speaker. And that is another thing. And interestingly, let's say in India, people where they're getting caught or being falling into there is many are non-native speaker if it comes to English, and they normally depend on a different tool to improvise it. In that sense, they are unaware of it, what has been done. Is somebody was giving a lecture where they have taken help for proofreading by somebody, and that proofreading, the enterprise has used some AI tool to do it, and that made that twisting of board. So we have to be careful what we are doing. So always credit the people for their ideas, avoid artificial intelligence tools, and writing for academic publication. So that is it. And let me take you to self plagiarism, because a few are from basically, um, and few question that being asked, like, can I use my published paper in my PhD thesis? This is very common question. And uh, that I'll show you, how to do that, because that will basically fall under self plagiarism. And self plagiarism sometimes can be called as duplicate plagiarisms. And the it can be for different thing. One is something, if you have published something, and for your next article you are taking the same content, and there it will be considered as self plagiarism. But a published content, your own published content, which is part of your PhD, and you wanted it to keep it in your thesis, in that case, there is way out to do that. So let's take a case. Your PhD thesis, your Turnitin report is showing 16%, and that part of it, like, if I remove 2 3, the first the external source, which is showing 3%, 1%, or few more, and I might, let me remove the first one, then the second one, and now I got 6%. Now I can able to submit my final thesis, right? And you see, in both cases, the AI is that is not get detected, so it is safe now. I can proceed. But can I do so? Can I exclude these two sources? That is the main query by many of the student, and many again, uh, few are following it, few are not, unaware of it. So how to do so? We'll come to that. Self plagiarism, they talked about it, and I have taken this from Authenticate. Like, many of the cases when we normally ask about to reuse the information for the PhD thesis, i- it is fine or not? Yes, it is normally fine, and it falls under little under copyright. So if you publish in a journal, you will have to sign a copyright form that check this form and the publisher copyright policy. Most will be fine with you to reusing information in a PhD thesis if it is not for commercial use. Please do keep it in mind. You can do so. You can use that word, the content which you have published in a journal or so, that will fall under copyright. And what you need to do is check that copyright that you have signed, or you can make a request. Even you can make reference to the publication that you have to cite your own paper in the thesis that is published. But what I did, if it is there, if I can show you, this is another case, I will show you that one. So normally self plagiarism refer to the work that is already being published, and this PhD thesis, in that you can able to do so with referencing. And yeah, I would always check with the publisher to be sure, as depending on the subject area, different approach and different content pieces. So what I did that one during my PhD, and I asked the publisher to allow me to use my uh, work in my PhD thesis, and they given me that liberty. I have not included that. Let me, yeah, yeah, that I have not included here. But a mail which I've kept, you can refer this. This is in my YouTube video. There I've shown you how I've written a mail to the publisher, and then I got this from the This is about the self plagiarism on policy is there. You can refer to those policy. I'm not going into that, it might take time. So they have clearly mentioned about it. Totally it is about citing it, giving proper credit to the source. And if it is your own, then better is to, whatever you have published earlier, take the consent from the publisher and use it in your thesis. That is possible. And what I'll show you is, I'll show you this. So let me take you to one certificate which we have developed for our university. When we got the idea from NIT Raipur, which is available in their platform. Let me show you NIT policy, then I can come to Sikkim Manipal. So here they have quoted all that, the policy of UGC, and I will show you this one about self plagiarism. What they have done is they have made it clear, like you have to mention the title, all about it, the publication by research scholar, whatever number of publication you have made, and the sign of the scholar and the supervisor. And it is mentioned that the included has towards the inclusion of PG, PhD, and in the thesis, and in the similarity, they might exclude that thing. Those sources which I've shown you, 1 2 3, so can be excluded. So now you have that backup, the policy wise also now you can do it. And similarly, uh, we have made it for the SMU, Sikkim Manipal University. So here also you can refer, you can visit to SMU website, and we have made in that way. When we have added that AI text that being identified, so that declaration has to be given. And supervisor's certificate on self-published work, here they have to and mention it. So those sources can be excluded in the report. And in that way, whenever it will be submitted, then people will get to know, that that is your own work. And then in the thesis, when we give this annexer, it can be attached to the thesis. So in that way you can safeguard to your work on self plagiarism. So this is what I thought of sharing today. Hope this what I showed you, you have shown this. Because any doubt on this, we can take some query, because I have to attend a meeting urgently. Do let me know any doubt on this.
Participants, if you have any doubt, kindly ask the question. You can ask directly or you can write in the chat box. Sir, there are no questions coming, so I think you can take your leave and you can attend your meeting. Thanks for joining, sir.
Okay. If any doubt, they
We
can
can do that
write.
in WhatsApp group.
Yeah, tomorrow we can
Or
discuss
you
this.
can take it tomorrow also.
Yeah. Thank you then. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining the meeting. We'll be having another meeting tomorrow at 7:30. Thank you so much.